Evening, g'day. Day number seven of 30. So this is a whole week. I've been coming to you live now every day. And today we're going to talk about adding a vignette to your photos. Why we do it, how we do it, using a couple of favorite apps. And also I'll touch on when not to do it as well. And just have a look, see if there's anyone joined in nice and early. And what I'll do is I'm going to refer to my, this is part of my 4-step system, my stronger photo composition 4-step system. This is step number 4. Now, you might be thinking, why are you talking about a mobile editing tool inside a composition course? Well, the thing is, composition is all about, if you go back to that definition, it's about having an intention with your photo and then how you communicate that photo. So, if you have a main visual anchor in the middle of the frame and things going on, and you want to try and avoid the person, the viewer, yourself, looking beyond that and going to the edges of the frame and potentially kind of looking out of the frame, losing interest and scrolling to the next photo, what this does is it pulls your attention back. So that's what composition. So using these editing tools really helps kind of enhance the viewer experience. I keep coming back to that term, enhancing the viewer experience, because it's all about visual communication. And setting up the photo is only half of it. I mean, when you edit it, then with the exact same composed photo through editing, you can completely, and this is one of the activities in my system, is that this exact same photo, through mobile editing, you can completely change what draws the person's attention and where they go to next, the hierarchy of those focal points. All right, so just looking for my sheet here. If this is the first one of this playlist, this series that you've come across, welcome. So far we've covered straighten the photo and how to use the perspective tool inside Snapseed. Talked about visual anchor and emphasis and hierarchy. Talked about the rule of thirds. And inside that, we talked about off-center, and what else was there? There was 1/3, 2/3, so a different variation of that. Left to right, space, negative, active, and positive space, and now vignette. So you can see there that I'm bringing more to you than just one a day, but it's just 30 days. So I will deliver quite a lot of value in that time. So if you have one that you want me to cover, there's a technique that you've heard of, or you're not quite familiar with, or you want me to expand on a little bit, just throw a comment in the down below, and I'll get into that. All right, so that's why we added vignette, because we want to try and pull the attention back into the photo instead of people going out. And it started off in the early days. It was actually a mechanical thing on the lenses that you would have that darkening of the edges, and then people upgrade their technology. And now we actually go and intentionally put that in. So it's really powerful for bringing your attention back into the photo. Okay, 2 different ways of doing it there is. So one is using my favorite app, Snapseed, and the other is using Lightroom, which I actually find better for doing this exercise. So first I'll go to Snapseed and show you that process. Okay. If you want to learn more about the 4-step system, there's the page there. All right, so we've opened up this photo inside Snapseed. We're going to the pencil. Okay, and you can see there, where is it? Vignette. Okay, and basically you've got your adjust there, your outer brightness and your inner brightness. So we could just scroll, just swipe and just see what it does. So that's one way. Yuck. Or we can make it white. Now, some photos really lend themselves quite nicely to white. Flowers can be really nice with the white, because white is kind of gives you a more delicate look to the photo and changes the mood, whereas that's a bit more dark and moody. With Snapseed, that blue dot, this is one of the things that I do like about it. You can move that around. So if your main visual anchor is not quite in the center, you can move it around, and that's really cool. Most of our inbuilt photo editors in our phones don't have that option. Okay, and the other one there is inner brightness, so you can brighten that up. That's pretty extreme, isn't it? Well, you can darken it, which is pretty cool. But let's make this look a bit more natural. So we'll bring this back. Okay. Bring that back to the original, and then just work on the outer brightness. Now, one of the things with a vignette, if you've got a sky in your vignette, it can look a bit not overcooked, but it can. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of having a vignette in skies that is noticeable. Down the bottom, it doesn't matter so much, but in the sky it does. Okay, and then to make it big and smaller, just pinch and zoom. All right, so that's that one. What I'm going to do now is bring up my favorite option here, Lightroom. Okay, so this one's Lightroom. All right, what we do here is we go through to the Effects tab, and then here you've got all your texture, clarity, dehaze, and then you've got Vignette. So Vignette, what I do with this, as soon as you swipe left or right with Vignette, it activates all these other options down underneath, midpoint, feather, and all that sort of thing. What I like to do is make the vignette go to the extreme, and then once you go to the extreme, and then you can actually see and have a better visual idea of what those other tools are doing. So let's go all the way to there, okay? And then we can go midpoint, we can change how far in it comes to the center, okay? And I like there because I want that person to not be too dark. Okay, feather, this is where you change the blend. So we go from, that's pretty cool for a circle border if you're going for that, or we feather it and we just blend it right through. Roundness is the shape, okay, so we want it to be round. Highlights, this one's really cool. So highlights, if you look up in that top right corner right now, okay, we can actually, the green going up into the corner, we can actually swipe all the way to the right, and what it does is it retains the brighter pixels in those corners and the edges. So, and I like to have that there because that's what part of the things that I've wanted to capture. Okay, grain, don't worry about that. Okay, so now that we've done that, now we go back up to Vignette and we can reduce that to where it looks natural and we like it. So there's the before, and there's, actually I'll get rid of that. There's the before, and there's the after. Now, some photos, especially flowers and outdoor where there's no real visual reference going on, and they can really benefit from a really strong vignette. Now, one of the issues, not an issue, one of the considerations with using the vignette tool inside Lightroom is that you can't move it. It's in the center. Now, if you have a paid plan inside Lightroom, the best option is to use the masking tool, make a radial mask, and then you can actually place it exactly where you want, expand it, and then using exposure, you can then reduce the exposure and you can invert it. Now, I don't have my paid plan anymore, so I can't show you that because, I don't know, Lightroom, their paid options are not worth it for me because I just go and use other apps to do that. Another option is Polar, P-O-L-A-R-R. You can do the same thing, but I've already shown you 2 apps. I think that's enough. All right, so that's it. So Vignette, so why we do it to pull the attention back into the middle of the frame. When would we not use it is if we have a sky and it just starts to look unnatural and a bit weird. How we do it, Snapseed, super easy. And also inside Lightroom is more advanced. Snapseed, I'll just show you one more quick option. Okay, get rid of that. We go into lens blur. And lens blur has a vignette in there as well. So we change that to that one, to a linear blur, and yeah. So it does the exact same thing as the other. It's just you don't have quite a strong strength, and you don't have that middle one where you can, middle adjustment where you can make it bright or dark. I don't know why they do that. Why would you do that? Why would you need to change that? Because you can change the exposure of the whole photo. So there we go. Nice, quick, simple one. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about lines, leading lines, S-curve, Z-curve, bring a couple more tips to you that way. And that'll be a good one.